Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Tall Building Institute. This is Peyman Askari Nejad. I'm the chairman and board of trustee of Tall Building Institute. I want to start first wishing everyone a fantastic 2022 year ahead, and also give an overview of what are the Tall Building Institute plan for 2022. So we are planning to have series of educational lecture and courses, plus bringing some expert and legends in tall building industry for discussions and about some topic in field of tall buildings. And also I would encourage everyone who are really like to get involved in Tall Building Institute, and they would like to participate, and especially the student architect, engineers, developers, and contractors who are in the field of tall building and who have passion and would love to contribute in the field of tall building. To get involved, please go to the website ustbi.com to get involved. Send us an email and let us know you are interested, so we get you on board, and we would love to have you to get you on board and collaborate with you. So one of the major focus of the Tall Building Institute for 2020 and moving forward is focusing on climate change and also sustainability, how to design and how to build a sustainable zero emission tall building, which would save our planet for our future generation. So if you have great ideas, please get involved. We would love to have you. We would love to hear from you, and we would love to collaborate with you. And in order to get involved, visit our website, ustbi.com, and send us an email. We get back to you as soon as possible, and we will get you involved. So for today, we're gonna have the first lecture, and the first lecture is going to start with what is tall building, what is super tall building, so the definition of the tall building and what characteristic tall buildings have. I'm sure there are many definitions people they might not know, and they would love to know what are those definitions. So the first lecture today, I'm going to describe what is tall building and what is super tall building and the characteristic of the tall building. So with further ado, I'm gonna start the lecture. Please enjoy. What is a tall building? There is no absolute definition of what constitutes tall building. The definition is subjective, considered against one or more of the following categories. There are three considerations. So number one is height to context. So as you can see in case A and B, so where if you have like a scenario A, that can be considered as a tall building. And if you have a scenario B, where the city, there are many tall buildings, higher than that building. So again, so that's height relative to the context. And second is proportion. So again, when you have a city like A, you look at the proportion of the other buildings compared to your building, that considered as a tall building. And also another scenario B, also when you look at the proportion of other buildings compared to your building, so that considered as a tall building. And the third one is tall building technologies. So where you have a new technologies, or when you have high speed elevators or new structural system or a type of structural system. So where is, technology has been adapted for that tall building. Then we go to the higher level. What is a super tall building? So I'm sure some of you may heard, from people, tall buildings, super tall buildings, skyscrapers, the different, names and terminologies. Again, opinions on this differ internationally, although great heights are now being achieved with built tall buildings in excess of 800 meters or 2,600 feet. At the start of 2010, there were only 42 buildings in excess of 300 meters completed and occupied globally. But now we have much more. So as we go further to the futures, the technology involved and so many new technologies are achieving higher height and higher height. So the CTBUH, where is the Council of Tall Building and Urban Habitat, defines super tall building as being any building over 300 meters or 984 feet in height. So when we see any building over 300 meters, we can consider that as a super tall building, such as One Liberty Place or Comcast Center or Empire State Building. Those are in New York City. The current tallest 10 buildings in the world. So as of January 2022, so those data are from CTBUH again. So as we see, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai is the tallest one, 828 meter, and also goes to the others, and we have Taipei 101 in Taipei also, 508 meter. Then we are like a different consideration how to measure the height. So one of them is height to architectural top. Height is measured from the level of the lowest significant open air pedestrian entrance to the architectural top of the building, including the spire, but not including antenna, signage, flagpoles, or other functional technical equipment. This measurement is the most widely utilized and is employed to define, by the CTBUH ranking of the world tallest building. As you can see here, again, we look at the world's 10 tallest building, and Burj Khalifa, which is still the tallest one in the world. The top architectural top the height is 828 meter. And the second consideration is highest occupied floor. So we're measured from the level of the lowest significant open air pedestrian entrance to the highest occupied floor within the building. So for example, again in Burj Khalifa, the highest occupied floor is 585 meter, 1921 feet, where is occupied. And when we look at the third consideration, height to the tip, this is measured from the level of the lowest significant open air pedestrian to the entrance to the highest point of the building, irrespective of materials or function of the highest element, including antenna, flagpole, signage, and other functional technical equipment. So in this case, we consider up to the top level. So where in Burj Khalifa case is 830 meter, which 2,723 feet. That's the highest level to the tip. Example which I can give you guys here. So based on the official heights of Willis Tower compared to the Petronas Tower in Malaysia, and Willis Tower is in Chicago, US. If you look at Willis Tower, the height to the tip is 527 meter or 1,728 feet, but architectural height is 442 meter, 1,451 feet, and the occupied level is 413 meter, which is 1,354 feet. But in Petronas Tower in Malaysia, the architectural height is 452, which is 1,483 feet, and the height to the tip is 452 again, and occupied level is 375 meters, which is 1,230 feet. Tall building characteristics are also the other, function of the tall building. A single function versus mixed use building. A single function tall building is defined as one where 85% or more its total height is dedicated to a single function, versus a mixed use tall building contains two or more functions where each of the functions occupy a significant portion of the tower's total space. Support areas such as car parking and mechanical rooms or space do not constitute mixed-use functions. Functions are denoted on CTBUH tall building list. It can be referred over there to look at them. So here, if you look at the color code, you see the hotel, black color, retail, and office blue, observatory, then residential. So in case one single function, you see the mostly is office tower, 85% and more. But in this case, where we have office and residential, plus car parking area is a mixed use function. So more than 50% of the heights are, with the mixed use functions. Then in other scenario, we have building versus telecommunication or observation tower. So how to define these two, is it, tall building or is it, telecommunication tower? So if more than 50% of the height is occupied, then we can consider that as a building. But if less than 50% is occupied, then it's telecommunication or observation tower.